Hey guys! So, this week is super simple. What we're planning to do is to do some work on our literacy. So, task 1, you got to finish off writing your whys. Nothing new there, but it's actually probably worth having a look at task 2 before you go on to task 1, because task 2 has some cool little exercises in it that and excerpts in it that might help you with your writing. So task 1, make sure you're writing your paragraphs. I want to see you highlighting the topic sentence, the example sentence, and the explanation sentence. You don't have to put a limiting sentence, but if you put a limiting sentence in there, definitely highlight it a different color so you can see the difference. But example, topic, I'm just going to make one up as I said. Guitar is the best instrument ever. Cool. Example. Have you ever tried to sing and play saxophone at the same time? It's impossible. That's why guitar is the best instrument ever. So that's my example. My example sentence is you can't sing and play saxophone at the same time. And now I explain why it's important. My explanation sentence might be, some people say that singing is the quickest way to the heart of your audience, but without accompaniment, it might not be any good. You might not be in tune. The guitar, unlike saxophone, can be used to accompany you and make you sound in tune. That was absolutely terrible, but that whole thing was terrible. But you saw a topic sentence, an example. My example was you can't sing and play saxophone at the same time. And why that was important was an explanation why it was important, as it links you into your audience easier, and because you can sing and that links to your audience and helps communicate information. And the guitar is essential to that because it keeps you in tune. Again, that was a terrible example of me trying to do it on the fly. But that would be a starting point, and I should really rewrite it. Let's have a go. Guitar is the best instrument ever. Okay, so obviously I'm going to convince you that guitar is the best instrument ever. Now, obviously, that is my topic sentence, so it's not that colour. I've already got my colours chosen. You don't have to stick to the same. I'm not going to do a limiting sentence because it's I'm not going to. I'm going to do a different example this time. That in the 20th century, more people singer guitarists than on any other instrument. So my example sentence. Example, did you know that, this is my example. Did you know that more people in the 20th century have become famous singer guitarists than any other instrument? And then I might add to that, just think. Ed Sheeran. I am a terrible speller, sorry guys. I'd probably read that back to myself.
Just think Ed
Sheeran, I'm pretty sure that's wrong, but Taylor Swift. lots more. What is someone else who's a famous singer-songwriter? I could go on. ETC. Now, can you think of any famous singers who play? I'm going to convince you that guitar is the best instrument ever. I might even change that. That might be the topic of the whole thing, but I'm going to convince you that guitar is the best instrument ever. Best instrument if you want to become famous. Sorry, I'm just sort of modifying this on the fly. So my topic sentence, now this is how I actually want you guys to think about it. It's actually quite good for you to see me mucking it up. So my topic sentence I've made was, I'm going to convince you that guitar is the, I've put instrument in the total wrong place. That's why you got to proofread, guys, is the best instrument if you want to become famous. So that was my topic sentence. That's what the topic's about. Did you know that in the 20th century, more people have become famous guitarists, guitar, spelled it wrong, than any other instrument? Just think, Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift, etc. That should be a cap on there. Stop. Now, can you think of any famous singers who play other instruments? So there's my example, and my example sentence. And now, if I'm thinking about this as how it is, do you think that this would be my explanation sentence? I actually think that this is how it should be. This is how it actually is. I'm going to convince you that guitar is the best instrument if you want to become famous. Just think. Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift, and the list goes on. Now, can you think of anyone who's a famous singer who plays other instruments? So that's my example sentence, and then my explanation is here. Did you know that in the 20th century there are more people who have become famous singing famous singer guitarists than any other instrument? So that's telling you why this explanation is important. So that's what it is. It's taken me a while to gather that all together, but here I'm going to convince you that the best instrument is to become famous is guitar. That's my topic. Then my example has examples of people, Now can you think of, and then my explanation sentence is in orange, and it's giving you an explanation on why it's the most important thing. Okay, so that's kind of tricky. Took me a while to get through it. But that's what I want you to do with your own one. Whoopsie. That's last week's one. So that's what I want you to do with your own one. The next thing, now, as I said earlier, you might decide that you actually want to do task 2 first, is fix at least 3 sentences from your first piece of writing using the images below to help you make your writing more persuasive. So the images below here, guys, I'm just zooming into them, are like guidelines on words that you can use to help you like convince people of things. You know, this one here's got some great starters. It is quite obvious that. So if I wanted to change my one here, instead I'm going to convince you. I'm sure it is quite, I think I spelled quite obvious. I'm sure it's quite obvious to you.
I'm sure it is quite obvious you that guitar is the best instrument if you want to become famous. Just
To
think
you.
Taylor Swift and the list goes on. Now can you think of any famous singer who plays other instruments? Did you know that in the 20th century?
I'm sure it's quite obvious to you that guitar is the best instrument if you want to be a fan. So I've added in one of those starters. What else could I add in? So I'm just doing this process that you're going to do with 3 of your sentences. So I've done one of mine, 3 of your sentences from your first piece of work. And it's about learning how, the reason why we're doing this is practicing using those persuasive words and those persuasive sentence starters. On the whole, I could probably even change this one. Did you know that? I could change that to on the whole. Did you know that in the 20th century more people? On the whole, in the 20th century, more people have become famous singer guitarists than any other instrument. I could change that. So that's the process. I was going to do it with an example here of someone's writing here, but I don't think it's really necessary actually. I'm going to delete that because then it was someone from our class and they don't. So the idea is taking in this space right here, I might even put a box in there. I'll put in a box for you guys. In that space there, sorry, I feel a little unorganized today. Don't know why. So you're going to take 3 of your sentences, or you can do it in your book. So you can do it in your book, or in this space here, take 3 of your sentences and add to them using these persuasive writing starters and, sentence structure things, and see how that affects even your, this is for your old piece of writing, see how that would actually affect your old piece of writing. So that's your tasks this week. I feel like I haven't explained it that well, and I'm sorry about that, but simply, you need to write 2 more paragraphs. I did an example there. You need a topic sentence. What's your topic? You need an example, and you need an explanation of why that's important. So that's in each paragraph. And then task 2 is rewriting 3 sentences, not 3 paragraphs, just 3 sentences from your old one, using these sentence starters to help you become more persuasive. That was probably the best explanation of it all day, so I might write that in the comments, just to skip to there.